Well, alright guys, what's going on? My name is Logan with West Desert Wheeler, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the refresh on my SCX-10-2 Rock Pirates Pirate Wagon. This one is on capper axles. Again, we'll get into that in a second. And it's got some Rock Pirates RC goodies all over this thing. Front and rear shock towers, rock sliders, kind of part of the battery tray mount. Servo tray mount is in there, and then I've got the battery tray and some other goodies. So let's get to it, hit the trails, and see how this new truck does. Right, so if you guys don't recognize this truck and you're not new to the channel, this was my yellow Rock Pirates RC Power Wagon truck. The reason I keep going with the Power Wagon body is because the Rock Pirates RC sliders here are bent and shaped exactly for that Power Wagon body, and it just makes mounting it and protection of the body just so awesome. So I keep going back to it because that's what the rock sliders are built for. So this one I got a little more aggressive on the trimming and made the overall height of the cab a little bit shorter, which just means you cut more of the bottom of the truck off. Typically the grill has like the 2 bars vertically. This one's just got the single row. So cut the grill in half, basically reshaped the fender openings for the little bit different wheelbase and the wider wheels and tires. And then I've got 2 body posts coming out the front side of the bed here. You can kind of see it poking through there into the back of the cab. And then of course I've got the 2 hood posts for mounting it, and then the rock sliders don't let the body pop out the side. So this thing is good and secure now, can take some real hard hits and not have to worry about the body coming off. We're out here hanging out with my dog Sydney, just running some new lines, exploring this area a little bit more. This is a spot out in the desert that not a whole lot of people go to, so I kind of like coming out here to make videos. It's just a little more private. I don't feel so weird talking to myself and my camera around a bunch of people. Let's see if we can get lined up to reverse down there. That's looking like a pretty good line here. So this truck, when I first got it, I traded my Gladiator for an SCX-10-2 with a Hobbywing axe system in it, and the truck was sitting on capper axles and it had an old Jeep body on it. And then I slowly started adding Rock Pirates RC parts to this truck because I had just learned about who Rock Pirates was and was pretty stoked on their product line, and ended up going crawling with Connor from Rock Pirates RC. So I was pretty stoked on the brand, wanted to build the truck up running their parts. And then after a while, I started to try and run this truck in RC competitions in my local area, but on capper axles it was a little too wide for the series that was going on. So I ended up converting it to SCX-10-2 axles and narrowed the truck up. And then with the full Rock Pirates kit with the 3-link in the front and all that fun stuff, that didn't work out. But now I've decided to go full circle and put it back on capper axles. So the capper axles are much wider, and then they've also got portals in there. So it adds a bunch of gearing reduction to the axial 3-gear transmission. I've got a 2100 kV system in here running on 3S, but it's quite slow with this setup. I don't think I'm gonna get this. So the truck's seen some different rebuilds and reworks, but I'm pretty happy with how this rebuild's looking. I like to change my trucks up. Often I will buy and sell different ones, but instead of selling this one off, I just changed up the parts that were on it, put a new body on it, which the reason it is silver and red is because I was running yellow for a long time. Originally I painted my first yellow Power Wagon because it was like a mustard yellow. I thought, yeah, it's possible you could see an old Power Wagon in mustard yellow. And then the second one was just hideous. It was yellow and white. But my shocks and the bed never matched anything, and those are silver and red. And I decided, you know what, if I'm gonna do a new body, instead of making the whole truck ugly again, why don't I just change up my paint scheme and paint the body to match the chassis? So that's where I came up with the color scheme, and I'm really stoked on how this turned out. Really happy with it. Got the silver stickers on there. So silver, red, and black, looking good. Got the SSD scale hardware on the wheels, that's looking good. The Proline G8 compound crawlers, and these tires are full of Crawler Innovations dual stage foams. You can see there, not a whole lot of wheel speed. with all the talk about Rock Pirates RC, that brings up some pretty cool news that I've got. I'm actually setting up and running some RC competitions in the southern Utah area, and my buddy Luke with Scumbag RC on Instagram is where you can find him. We've decided to run a northern Utah versus southern Utah RC shootout. So what we're going to do is 3 series of competitions. So there's going to be 3 different dates here in the spring in Utah in 2022, and we're going to do a championship series between those 3 parts, and then a final north and south comes together and do a state championship RC crawl. It should be a ton of fun. But Rock Pirates RC is the title sponsor of the finals event. Really looking forward to that. They are planning on coming out from California to come hang out with us at the finals and run the rocks out here in Utah. So I am actually currently in the area of my first competition, and the date set for that competition is March 12th, 2022. And then I'm going to be following the schedule on the second Saturday of each month of, we're gonna do March, April, and May, and then at the end of May, we're gonna do the final shootout between the whole state. So anybody willing to travel to an area we call Little Moab here in northern Utah, on March 5th, Luke is running his first event, and he's going to set up a few courses for everybody who wants to come out and show up. Mine's going to be the following weekend in March 12th down here in southern Utah. We're going to be just outside of Hurricane, Utah. And then the finals event, which we already have a location picked out for, is going to be in Cedar City, Utah, which is part of, it's closer to southern Utah, but it gets cold like the north does. But it's got killer terrain up there. It is called 3 Peaks, and we're gonna go out there and run an event and run the rocks in Cedar City with everybody. So the key part is the first 3 parts of these series for both north and south, the top 15 drivers of every event get an invite to the finals. So if you can't make it to all 3 events, that's fine. You don't have to run the whole championship, but you will need to place in the top 15 to get an invite to the finals for the final North versus South championship. So I'm really excited for all this though. I've never put on an event quite on this scale. I've done a few single competitions here and there. I did that last year, and really looking forward to running a championship series. There's a ton of great drivers both north and south here in Utah. So much good terrain for everybody to get out and practice and get good at driving on. So there should be some real awesome demonstrations of driver skill. But the rules on the events, they're pretty relaxed. We've basically got a semi-class 2 style with more relaxed rules. You're looking at this truck right now. It's Capra axles, it's got 4.75 tires. It's fine. I will allow this in my event. I will say though, minimum gate width is going to be 13 inches. So if you've got like a bomber or something, that's going to be pretty wide for the event. We've got the class 2, and then we've got the unlimited class where you can run an MOA if you want. You can bring out your rear steer Capra, run dig and rear steer at the same time. It's all good. Class 2, no dig and no rear steer allowed. With the tire height limit of 4.76, because flat irons are not an advantage. So I will leave a link down below to our Facebook group where you can find more info on the events. So typically I like to run my trucks with a really small pinion, but with this much gearing reduction between the 3-gear transmission and the Capra portals, I think I might bump up to like a 14 tooth or even more than that, maybe go with like a 15 or so and see where that puts me. The 2100 kV, it'll creep and crawl really awesome with the censored Spectrum brushless system in here. But yeah, just that much gearing reduction. You really want just a little more top end than that if I need to like bump up a ledge. But I brought up the name a bunch of times in this video. Rock Pirates RC does make a ton of awesome upgrades for both SCX 10.2 and Element cars as well. Their Enduro line of trucks, they make shock towers for those, rock sliders that bolt right on. They just announced that they've got Traxxas TRX4 parts, so looking forward to more products from that. And in talking with them, they've got more ideas in mind too, and I know that they're going to make them a reality because they just keep expanding their product line, and every one of their parts so far has been an awesome performance increase. So not only these guys are making aftermarket parts, but they also really add performance, which is awesome. These trucks run fantastic. There's a reason I've run this truck for so long, and it's because it just keeps kicking ass, and it's tough too. I really like the durability of their products. They're all full metal. The rock sliders are crazy tough. I've been beating the crap out of mine for more than a year now, and it just keeps taking it. See that rod end in there holding me up on the skid plate? Like I said, I'm out here exploring lines, so it's not like I have this dialed in. There we go. Getting real light on the back end. Really need that tire to connect. So just a few more words on the details of that event. We've also got some other partnering sponsors that are going to be working with us through the series. So far, we've got support in Southern Utah from Sky RC. Up in the north, we've also got support from West Valley Hobbies, which is a great store. That place is always stocked up with just about everything you can think of for a crawler. They've got really great inventory. I highly suggest checking them out if you're in the Salt Lake City area. And then we've also had some support from Reefs RC. That's super awesome to start working with Reefs. Really looking forward to that. And then down south, we've also got Desert RC supplying some prize table stuff as well. We've got Joe Ropes, so all a bunch of great companies helping us make this competition series really awesome. Really looking forward to it, but mostly looking forward to getting out and driving with everybody. So it's going to be a good time. If anybody can make it out to any of these events, like I say, the Facebook group will be linked down below. Go ahead and join over there, and we will get you some information on where the events are, the rules of the events, and kind of what you can expect. So should be a good time. I'll try and make some videos on my first event to show you guys what they're like. But I've got a few more trucks I need to go and shoot some videos on, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and put the Power Wagon away. But until next time, guys, I greatly appreciate you watching. Hope to see you out there at the Northern vs. Utah State Shootout RC Crawling Championship. And until next time, keep the rubber side down.